Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. Thanks for joining me again. Day 82 of Take a Journey with Me. I'm going to speak about Rebecca today. You can find about her in the Bible in the book of Genesis, chapters 22 to 28, and chapter 49, verse 31. Also in the New Testament in the book of Romans, chapter 9, verses 6 to 16. Rebecca was the wife of Isaac. Isaac was the son of Abraham. Rebekah was a citizen of where Isaac was from, and he sought out a wife for his son Abraham, for his son Isaac, to marry where he was from. He wanted to ensure that his son did not marry a woman where they were living at that time, a Canaanite woman. I know these were biblical times. I totally respect that. I have not questioned that whatsoever, anything about the Bible. And there are multiple incidents similar written about in the Bible. But I'm just sure this had to be frightening to leave your family and marry a stranger. Maybe after generations, it became such a custom. And I know it was a custom, and that it wasn't so hard. But I still think in the back of my heart, it's got to be a little scary. Not just for someone like Rebecca, but also her parents. Knowing all that we know what goes on with children and women today, how they're trafficked and so forth, it just makes this come to life for me a lot more. Totally, again, I have nothing um, to question about the Bible, but I just think it's scary. Could have been scary, but I know God blessed these marriages, so it's okay. I know there's also similar events happening in different parts of the world today, certain cultures that are still doing this practice, the marrying of young girls even to those who the young girls do not know, or the young girls are quite young as well. So just a lot comes into play and it brings it to life to me. Again, totally respecting. Isaac and Rebecca, going ahead in time now, had been married for 20 years and they still had no child or children. Isaac prayed that Rebecca would have a child or children. God answered, and they had twins, twin boys. Rebecca could feel these two babies battling within her well before they were even born. God explained that the eldest of the twins would serve the youngest. The birth of Esau and Jacob actually caused much strife within their immediate family. Esau was the favorite of Isaac, and Jacob was the favorite of Rebekah. She began to put her favorite son, Jacob, in a position as an idol. This caused her to help him trick her husband, Jacob, trick Abraham, the father of Jacob and Esau's. She wanted Jacob to have the blessing from Isaac and not Esau to have the blessing. This left a lot of sadness, anger, and confusion. Abraham was heartbroken to realize that he was tricked. Esau was not happy at all, and Jacob ran away, which made Rebekah very sad. A lesson here is how idols are not just images or things, but we learn that putting others in positions of idols or as idols in our lives is also very bad. God plainly states in Exodus chapter 20, verse 35, that we are to have no other gods before him. A goal of Satan is that we put before ourselves idols of all types in place of God. We read about this main event that I just mentioned that caused Jacob to flee in the whole chapter of 27 of the book of Genesis. I'm going to read a portion of that. I hope you can read the whole chapter later when you get an opportunity. So Genesis chapter 27, verses 1 through 17. When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak that he could no longer see, he called for Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son." "Here I am," he answered. Isaac said, "I am now an old man and do not know the day of my death. Now then, get your equipment your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like, and bring it to me to eat, so that I may give you my blessing before I die." Now Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke this to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die.' Now, my son," Rebekah said, "listen carefully and do what I tell you. Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father just the way he likes it. Then take it to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies." Jacob said to Rebekah, however, to his mother, "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, while I have very smooth skin. What if my father touches me? I would appear to be tricking him and would bring down a curse on myself rather than a blessing." His mother said to him, "My son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say. Go and get them for me." So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with goatskins. Then she handed her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread that she had made. Thanks be to God. Have you ever made things and people as idols in your life? Things like work or at work, relationships of any type, money, positions at work as well, church, positions at church, positions in the community. As well, we all have at some point been guilty of putting things and people in front of our lives, in front of God, over the attention, time, and love we should be giving to God. It's easy to think we are only idolizing things, and we forget how easy it is to idolize other people. One example is putting preachers on a pedestal. We are all in this flesh. Only God deserves a pedestal. We most certainly should respect our pastors and those who are truly doing the work of God and who are truly honest, hardworking, and respectable in the community. But do not idolize anyone or anything other than God. Many people put too much weight in their relationships. They put their energy towards their spouse, boyfriend, or girlfriend so greatly they oftentimes forget to put God first. We should never lose ourselves in our relationships, especially to the level of discontinue walking with God or only remember Him when within the 4 walls of a church. There are countless examples of people who idolize, we all idolize or have at some point in our lives. Not particularly good, or none of them are good. It's not, again, not good. But we all do this at some point. Actors, singers, athletes, and other famous people out there, authors, so forth. And there's many things that we all, myself included, idolize each day, not just people. The hours that we watch TV, so we're idolizing everything on TV. The hours we look at our cellular devices, we're all guilty of that, I'm sure. Competing with our neighbors for this or that. The biggest car, the biggest this, oh, I got to do this, and much more. Can you think of things or people that you put on a pedestal? We all have and do at some time or another. Ask God to bring those things and the people we place above Him in our lives so that we can rearrange our attention back to where it belongs, towards God. Also, Rebecca committed other sins than just making idols. We see a lot of conniving to get her way for herself and for her favorite son. This is obviously not good either. Competition is one thing, but to the level of committing a sin and cheating is very bad. We all have our different gifts from God. As well, He has a perfect will for each of us. So go to Him and pray for discernment to know the best action for each situation, especially the challenging ones in our lives. These are challenges to live by. But it's so easy to fall into these traps of idolizing people or cheating to get ahead. So just every day we have to pray, pray, pray in the morning and the night and many times in between to be more like Him. Thank you. Look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Take care. God bless. I hope you're careful out there if you're having rain like we are. Bye-bye.